In recent years, millions of employees around the world have left their jobs and gone on to other opportunities. Many have tried explaining this mass exodus, but it seems clear that the reasons are far-fetching. Low salaries, limited career advancement opportunities, poor work-life balance, and dissatisfaction with management or the company. In fact, a survey by CareerBuilder found that among its clients who had left their jobs in the last year, 15% cited low pay as a key reason for leaving, and 30% cited poor work/life balance. Additionally, only 13% of those surveyed reported good communication between managers and employees as a reason for leaving their job. These findings are especially surprising, given that many companies have been offering bonuses for years to retain employees who stay with them for at least 4 years. And yet, this survey indicates that more than half of people surveyed had already left their jobs by then. The Great Resignation is a real thing. You don't have to be an HR pro to know it's happening all around you. But if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed that your business is losing some of its best employees to the Great Resignation. And it's not just millennials who are leaving. It's not about money either. Many top performers are willing to give up the perks and benefits of their current jobs because they want more time with their families and/or flexibility in their workdays. If you haven't been doing everything in your power to keep these employees happy, then it may be time for a review of what makes your business worth working for. Luckily for you, BBC member, we have produced a list of the top 5 strategies for retaining employees. Remember that while the first step is completing any of these amazing courses, the second and possibly more important step is taking action, even if it's imperfect action. There are many ways to make sure your employees feel their work is valued. The first one is by offering a wage worthy of sacrifice and hard work. One of the most important things you can do to ensure this is paid attention to is to pay the absolute minimum possible for each employee. When you think about the cost of living, it's easy to focus on the things that are most expensive. Rent is a high priority for most people, but food and transportation costs can just be as significant. So, when you look at the big picture, does your employer pay you enough? It's important to remember that these expenses are not all-encompassing. They don't take into account things like healthcare or retirement funds. And when companies do pay their employees fairly, they don't make sure everyone gets paid equally. They make sure each employee's wage is adjusted as inflation rises and their responsibilities increase. In addition to this, every time an employee's responsibility increases, so should their wage increase. In order to ensure fairness in your workplace, it's essential that your employer be transparent with their compensation policies and practices. Always know what your salary is before you accept any new position with a company, even if you're already working there. It's important to remember that a living wage is not just about being able to afford the basics. It's about paying enough so that the employees can be healthy, take care of their families, and have enough money to invest in their futures. The first step in offering your employees the right wage is to determine the living wage in your area. Keep in mind that though the federal minimum wage is currently $7.25, reports show that the hourly rate is below the living wage in nearly, if not every, county in the U.S. MIT offers a living wage calculator to help estimate the cost of living in each state, city, or metro area. This should be the absolute base pay for any position, and wages should increase from there. The second step is to research what your competition is offering in terms of salaries and wages, and what kind of raises competitors have been handing out. If you are not offering the top wages compared to your competition, you will be more likely to lose your best employees. Low performers will take their jobs, costing you significantly more money in the long haul than were you to just pay the best employees more. If you are paying below market rates for your new hires, then your current employees may leave for better opportunities elsewhere. This can be a huge problem for companies that do not have the resources to rehire their employees at a higher rate or who do not want to pay such a high salary rate. The best thing that businesses can do is to make sure that they are competitively paying their employees as much as possible without compromising on quality or productivity. This also means that they should make sure that they are offering wages which are above market rates so that they can attract high-quality talent into their company instead of losing them because it costs too much money. The next strategy is to let your employees work from home. Remote work is on the rise, and in an age of increasing global connectivity, it's no surprise. With modern technology, working entirely or even partially from home is possible in a vast array of industries. According to the Upwork Future of Workforce Pulse report, 36.2 million Americans will be working remotely in 2025, an increase of nearly 90% since before the COVID-19 pandemic. Remote work isn't just convenient to reduce the spread of disease, but has been shown to make employees happier and more productive at work. One of the most important advantages is the ability it gives employees to focus on their work, reducing non-essential meetings and increasing schedule flexibility. It also eliminates commute time and can help with distractions that come from long commutes or lack of access to coworkers. Remote workers have more autonomy because there are fewer distractions and scheduling issues. They can also spend more time with their families and maintain a healthier lifestyle by not having to spend time sitting in traffic or worrying about how much time they are losing at home or at the office due to commuting issues or lengthy meetings. Offering flexible work from home options is a great way to retain the best employees. Many Americans are working remotely, but remote work will not likely be a permanent solution for many businesses. In fact, more and more Americans return to offices each month. So, offering flexible work from home options may be an incentive to keep the best employees with your company for the long run. Remote work is a great option for many employees, but it's important that you offer flexibility in your telecommuting policy so that you can accommodate everyone who wants to take advantage of this option. Since the pandemic, a growing number of businesses have been offering remote work options to their employees. The ability to work from home is changing the way we think about our work lives and has become a norm, even if it's still not a norm in every industry. But while offering flexible hours have been beneficial for many organizations as they adjust to this new reality, it also helps retain top talent. According to a study from the Society of Human Resource Management, businesses that offer more flexible work options maintain significantly better work retention than those who don't. Even before the pandemic made work from home a norm, a 2019 study showed nearly 2/3 of workers found themselves more productive outside of a traditional office due to fewer interruptions, fewer distractions, and less commuting. Creativity can't always be turned on like a faucet, so offering your employees flexible hours encourages them to find the times they will be most efficient and productive to focus attention on the work. When it comes to increasing employee productivity and reducing employee burnout, many people think that more hours in the day or work week will help. But new research from Stanford University suggests otherwise. A 2014 study by Stanford University found productivity enters a steep decline after a worker exceeds 50 hours of work per week. While we often think workaholics who are the first to arrive and the last to leave are more dedicated and productive, that is not necessarily the case if much of the productivity in those hours is lost to burnout or exhaustion. In fact, a 2015 study by Yahoo found that employees who have flexible schedules perform better than their counterparts who have fixed schedules or no schedule at all. The researchers also found that workers with flexible schedules are less likely to quit their jobs because they have better access to other aspects of life outside work, like family, friends, and hobbies, compared to those who work fixed schedules. Fourth on our list of key retention strategies for businesses is to encourage and promote a good work-life balance, not just for your employees, but for yourself too. As a business owner, it's important to be mindful of how your employees are feeling and their work-life balance. After all, it's not just about what you can offer them, it's also about what they have to offer you. If you've been able to create a healthy working relationship with your employees, then being aware of their feelings towards work-life balance is an easy way to keep the conversation going between you and them. If you're not sure how to start the conversation, try asking questions like, "What do my employees want from me?" Or how do we make sure our employees are happy? Once you figure out what your employees want from you and how best to provide it for them, then you'll know how to continue that conversation with them in real time so it doesn't get lost or forgotten between meetings or emails back and forth over time. Employee recognition is a top priority for many businesses. In fact, according to the Brandon Hall Group, companies that prioritize recognizing their employees multiple times per month are 41% more likely to see increased employee retention and 34% more likely to see increased employee engagement. Employees who feel appropriately rewarded and recognized by workplaces are much easier to retain long-term. Studies also show those employees will work harder and be more productive. Unfortunately, over 80% of American employees say they don't feel recognized or rewarded by their employers. When it comes to recognizing and rewarding your employees, there are plenty of ways to do it. Don't be afraid to mix up the types of rewards you offer them. For instance, if you want to thank someone for a job well done, consider offering them a gift card or a cash reward. If they've been especially helpful, consider giving them a gift card as well. There are also other ways to recognize your employees. You can let them know that they're appreciated by placing a note in their inboxes or on their desks. You can also use social media platforms like Facebook or Twitter to show appreciation for their hard work. Another that you can show your appreciation for your employees is by offering paid time off. This is important because it allows employees time off when they need it most. For example, if they have an illness or family emergency. And it makes sure that they feel valued and appreciated by their employer. It can be tough to be a manager. You know that your employees are trying their best and that they're doing everything that they can, but sometimes things don't go as planned. It's important to recognize your employees for their efforts too. Sometimes projects are not as successful as we'd hope and numbers are not reached or deals are not closed. While this can be a disappointment, it's also important to make sure your employees know that their efforts have been recognized and appreciated even if the results weren't met. This can help encourage your employees to try harder in the future and support them when they might otherwise feel hopeless or defeated. The pandemic has made employee retention a top priority for many businesses. But what's the best way to retain your staff? It's important to take a look at your business from the perspective of the employees and make sure that you're providing them with all the support they need. It's also important to think about how you can help them prioritize their time and energy so they can stay focused on their work while still making time for themselves. That's it for this video, BBC member. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!